You are now listening to the Hot Take.
But let's get into the main event, Ty. Sugar Sean O'Malley making his first title defense against Marlon Chito Vera, the man who gave him the one loss on his record. If you recall, that was, I believe, 2020, I think, right? The old leg kicks and his leg giving out, and then he fell, and then he received some elbows via the face on the ground. That was August of 2020. The Stipe and DC card. I think that was
man.
That was
so goddamn long ago.
It doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
It's so weird, yeah. It's so weird that Sean O'Malley made his UFC debut, or I guess the first time we saw him on the Contender Series, 2017. That's crazy.
These years are just flying by me, man.
They're not even real anymore. You could say anything happened at any day. I'd be like, yeah, sure.
So, Chito Vera is a big underdog here, more considerable than I thought he would be when this fight was kind of announced. He's plus 240, Ty, to Sean O'Malley's minus 270, 280. I'm trying to figure out what the first fight, what the odds were. O'Malley he opened up, I think, as an underdog, and then it kind of wound up going into the same range, I think. So that's
Tapology says minus 300 for Sean. I don't know how accurate that is.
It says it says on here as well. Okay. So it's in the same direction. So it seems like Sean hangs out at around the same line for most of his fights, other than probably the Aljo fight. You know, Paiva, he was minus 375. Pedro, he was minus 350, and then this one he's minus 300 as well. So I guess the question here, Ty, the money line doesn't seem really bettable unless you're throwing it in some sort of parlay. I guess the question is, do you think that he's able to finish Chito Vera, which would be the first time Chito Vera has been finished in his career? And this is a very fascinating fight to me because I do think the odds are a little too. That's if you're in on the Chito bandwagon, this is a perfect opportunity or situation to hop in here. I'm not gonna be the guy who does that. You know, I don't like Chito Vera in this fight. I didn't like him in the first fight. It feels like a good matchup for Sean O'Malley's game, and at some point you'd think he would hurt him, but no one's hurt Chito Vera before, man. So I don't even think the guy's even bled, let alone had a scratch on his face or anything. It's pretty remarkable. But Sean O'Malley has shown since that fight, though, I think he's grown leaps and bounds. And I think he's I shouldn't say well, but he's leveled up past Chito Vera. And the odds are for the TKO, I was looking at it yesterday, there was in the plus like 240, 300 range. You can get it at 250 right now. I think that's where I'm going to go unless you are on the other side or convince me otherwise. But
no, I think I'm here. I think I'm here with you. It's a little tough to predict, but I think it's got to happen eventually, right? Chito Vera has a negative striking ratio in the UFC. I know a lot of that is kind of, you need to examine it a little further, have a little nuance to it, because he does kind of roll with shots. He does take shots very well. He has a great chin, and he does a good job of catching them at the very end of their punches. He has 12 knockdowns in the UFC compared to 0 knocked down. So, yeah, can Sean do it? I mean, Sean has the well, first of all, he's rocking the pink shorts with the pink and blue cotton candy hair. I love it. I know that's probably going to piss some people off. I love it. Why not? He looks like he's focused. He looks like he's just he's ready. He's never struck me as somebody who I didn't think was going to be ready. He's 29. I think he just turned 29. So he's pretty much in his prime, physically, mentally. He's a new father. Shout out to Liska, my boy Liska, also a new father.
Yeah,
out there.
Shout out.
His wife and hairdresser. He had both of them doing his hair. If you saw what his hairdresser looked like, you'd understand.
Yep.
I understand, Sean. He's just a high volume, precise sniper with power in both hands, switching stances, moves well. Still skinny, but he's very big for the division, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That nasty pullback counter that he knocked Aljo out with. So he's good going backwards. A lot of people aren't as good going backwards. I feel like Chito can be low volume. I feel like he can be, sometimes can give some minutes away, especially takes round one off a lot, kind of like Piotr Jan, to try to make reads, download the data, if you will. He gives up takedowns, but usually that's to set up a sub. He has very good opportunistic submissions, but I don't think you have to worry about that here. Maybe he tries to implement some wrestling. I don't know. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy considering that he stood there in exchange with John Lineker in the pocket, turned Jose Aldo into a wrestler, yet he's never been dropped in 32 pro fights. I think it's going to happen, though. I don't know. It's not like he's old and he's washed up and he's showing signs of decline. I don't think that's really true at all.
I don't think he looked great in the Pedro Munoz fight, though, for the record.
He's 31, so he's not old.
He's not old, but I think it's more of a fight old as opposed to a actual age old. Because I mean, look,
what I'll say is the Corey Sandhagen fight for me was not a great look.
No,
I didn't love that. So yeah, his last 2 fights, and even the Dominic Cruz fight. I mean, he knocked him down like 3 times, but he got outstruck. And then and that'll happen to him, and that's what I worry about. Like he'll give up the strike totals. You don't want to do that with Sean. I mean, Sean is just dynamic striker all around. And funny enough, he has good kicks.
Yeah.
I know that was an issue in their first fight, but I think that was a long time ago. He's come a long way. Like I said, he's in his prime mentally, physically, emotionally. I don't think cardio is an issue for Sean. I think he won round 3 against Petr Yan unanimously. Maybe you scored the fight for Yan. I think a lot of people said they did, and I think I might have. But I think that showed that Sugar is a championship fighter. You know? So, did you see Aljo said, or not Aljo? Yeah, Aljo said that Chito's having a bad camp.
Yeah, I don't believe
Interesting.
that.
And then you see they're back and forth.
Yes.
Chito's a very angry fella. I kind of like it. He said, Aljo, dude, he's so fucking hungry for attention. He never got attention in the UFC.
Yeah.
He became a world champion. Defended. He got booed in fucking Jersey against fucking Cejudo. Who gets booed against Cejudo? Holy shit, people fucking hate you. That's great.
Dude, he's so funny. Do you see Sean like, yo, you ready to get knocked out? He said, suck my dick.
Sean's like, suck your dick? What?
And then Cheeto's walking through the hallway. He's like, I told him to suck my, like, cracking up. He's like, yeah, fuck you, pussy. So funny.
That's a good thing to say. I like saying that to another dude.
Yeah, hell yeah,
like,
dude. What can you say to him? He said, you ready to suck my dick? And he was like, that's gay, dude. And Sean tries to talk shit, and it's just not in his nature. He cannot, like, he just doesn't, it's not his thing, Are they doing a press conference?
I don't know when that should be. I saw somebody tweet the schedule up, but do you remember when Petr Yan in translation called him a dumb whore on the street?
Yes.
And he's like, yeah. And they're like, Sean, what do you have to say about that? He's like, that was good. That was a good one. So yeah, all around, I think Chito. I think if you want to bet him, you have to bet him KO. I don't know. Does he go for a sub or does he? Maybe.
I think
I just
don't
know.
But...
He doesn't do that. He just doesn't do it. He doesn't look to do that ever. So I can't imagine. And Sean's jiu-jitsu has come a long way. Also, man, the way Corey beat him all around was just very not shocking, but it opened my eyes for sure. And like you said, the Pedro Munoz fight got a little dicey. Rob Font landed insane volume on him. I know he knocked him down and won that fight, knocked him down 3 times, but 271 strikes landed for Rob Font. Wild.
Yeah.
So I'm following you. I got Sean O'Malley by knockout, and I think he maybe would you say this is the biggest win of his career? I would say probably not. Right, not the Aljo fight. But maybe the biggest statement because I think a lot of people were taking
this means more. Because it basically would mean he's undefeated.
1L.
Yeah, like it would be like that loss was a fluke. Exactly. Like his whole thing has been that loss was a fluke, and the only way to actually prove that and make this right would be to go out and make a statement like knocking out. I mean, I think it's tough to take away because that Aljo was on top of the world and he fucking knocked him out in dramatic fashion. But if he goes out and knocks Chito Vera out, then really, the sky is the limit for Sean O'Malley. This is sort of another that's when you get to this level, it's just an opportunity after opportunity to break through to that superstardom level. And hopefully it comes out to Lupe Fiasco again. I would love that. The last time Chito Vera has scored a submission victory, 2019 against Nohelin Hernandez.
Oh man!
On the John Jones Santos card. So that's UFC 239. So 60 UFCs ago is when that occurred. So that you listen. I would say one of the what do we usually say though, Ty? We always try to go with the predictable thing. What's going to happen? I think I don't think that O'Malley points is a bad bet either, but listen, we always say, well, you got to bet the thing that is that you don't expect or that's not likely to happen. O'Malley's never, or Vera's never been knocked out, so I'm gonna go.
Plus two. What was the number?
That's plus
TKO?
250.
Solid number, I think. I mean, it's gonna be tough,
I
right?
agree.
But I think there's a chance it happens early, at least the first round. Maybe not the second, third. Maybe because Chito just takes round one off, and Sean comes out firing out the gates, switching stances. He's going to throw his own kicks that are going to do work. I think Chito might maybe not underestimate him because it's funny. Sean's like, yeah, a lot of people are saying it's going to be an easy fight. It's not going to be an easy fight. I just sometimes make my fights look like easy fights, but this is going to be tough. So the fact that he's,
that he's in that mindset.
He's not the arrogant kid that he once was. He's honestly matured a lot, even though he still is goofy and silly and whatnot. But I think Chito might end up underestimating him and his power a little bit because he's like, I've been there, I've done that. I fought Hall of Famers. I'm not scared of this kid with his, pink shorts and pink and blue hair. Well, I think it's going to be, curtains. I think it's going to be a straight right or a straight left.
Yep.
And then some ground and pound.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I just think that this is his time. I just think he's so much more of a better striker, and I feel like that's where this fight's going to go down for 25 minutes. I think O'Malley finds a way to get him out of there at some point, and I think Chito, if he could probably go to the wrestling at some point, but I don't even think he'll have success with that because, like you said, it's not really his thing. He can grapple, but I don't think he really likes to grapple, and I don't know, when you're not used to it, it's kind of an energy zapper if you try to go do that. So we are both on O'Malley TKO plus 250.
You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.